One Cambridge Insider podcast time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode. The gang is all together. Everybody's excited. It was a technologically advanced start to this podcast episode. Any of you that need technology advice, Dean, executive producer, he's your man. Drop him a mail. He'll sort your stuff out for you. Mr. Batson in Seattle, how are you, buddy?
I am doing good. I was just listening to your intro and thinking, where's the music? I think I've been listening to too many of our episodes and writing critiques. I'm like, there's no music with this intro.
I have a quick question for you just before we kick things off.
Yeah.
Personal question, and I know the timing is very weird. Is it Craig or is it Craig?
It's Craig. Yeah, Craig.
Like Greg.
Don't bring up that name.
All right.
Sorry to any of our listeners.
I've opened up a whole can of worms.
Yeah,
we'll discuss this in a
lifetime of trauma.
All right, we're very excited at the Cambridge Insider podcast to welcome Sarah Guo, who's a friend of ours, both of Craig and myself. We've traveled many miles with Sarah, and Sarah is currently the Associate Director of Academic Services at Cambridge Network. Sarah, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for your introduction, Stephen.
It's awesome to have you here. Both Craig and I have been very excited about this episode and about recording this because you're such a good friend and you're so knowledgeable. So maybe just before we start, Sarah, if you could maybe just give our listeners a little background about yourself and how you got to this point.
Yes, I was born in China, and before coming to the US, I was a high school teacher for about 17 years, and I came to the US in 2012 for my master's degree in education, specializing in teaching English as second language. I have been with Cambridge Network for about 6 years, I guess.
Excellent. So much. Firstly, that answer was to the point. I love it. Nobody's left wondering, about that question. A lot of experience, 17 years teaching. That's incredible, and a master's degree in the field of education. So again, welcome to the podcast. Awesome to have you. Let's kick it off. First question for you is, what is tutoring? What is our tutoring service at Cambridge Network, and how can it help schools?
Okay, our Cambridge Network Academic Services provides K-12 12th grade online tutoring to both domestic students and international students. We hire passionate and certified teachers that really care about our students' growth and success. Our tutoring program can cover all US K through 12th grade students, including subjects, including honors and APs. And also we provide help in ESL, English as second language, and also test prep like SAT, ACT, and TOEFL. We focus more than just on boosting students' GPA. We strive to build up our students' confidence, motivation, love of learning to become independent learners.
Wow. And wow, that's incredible. I think the first thing that hits anybody that listens to that is that the academic services that you and your team offer is all encompassing. It's not just ESL, it's not just a specific class or specific subject, but it really covers a broad range of things depending on what the students' needs are.
Yes, that's true.
Excellent.
And I think that's great because I know a lot of our Cambridge Network desire for running a program like this is based out of our experience of having students ask us for help or having a school ask us to get a student help and looking at the local options and finding that they were either too expensive or they weren't used to working with English as second language learners. What can you tell me about our tutors that we went out and found and recruited for this job and have, trained in this world?
Yes, very good question. Actually, the success of this program or anything that can make sure this program is successful actually is the quality of the tutors. So the quality of tutors is the key of our program success. Our tutors are carefully screened and background checked certified teachers, and more than 90% of our tutors hold master's degree or higher in the subjects they are teaching. and they have average 13 years of teaching experience and have extensive expertise in teaching both domestic students and international students with different learning background, such as students with learning disabilities and also the student, also gifted children. And all I can see a lot of tutors are also our current school teachers. That means they are fully understand and very familiar with US curriculum and also know how to engage and motivate students in a remote learning setting.
And I think I want to zero in on what you mentioned at the end, right? Their current teachers, a lot of them are, not all of them, are current teachers, and they're experienced in this remote learning.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this year has been a struggle for students, international and domestic. As kids are going back to schools, we're learning about all the learning that they've lost. How can our tutors help kids catch up some of that learning that they've lost?
Well, very good question. Actually, when our schools move all the classes from on-site to online or a hybrid setting during COVID-19, we often hear the challenges that the school teachers have been talking about. For example, the teachers do not have the means to meet students, each student's needs. In online setting, a large group also create a lot of issues. For example, both teachers and students have to stay online for more than 6 hours a day. Both of them have a screen fatigue. And teacher is not able to monitor and check each student's focus status and their progress in a large group setting. The second challenge is that students lose track of the courses and finally give up. This often happens to international students, especially to new international students who have English language barrier and are not familiar with US school communication protocol. For a lot of new international students, believe it or not, this is their first time to use email, let alone how to use the learning management system to check their course updates and upload their homework. As the time goes on, they will lose the track of the courses and give up emotionally and psychologically. And the third challenge for the school is the communication gap between the students and the school. What happens in reality is that when students lose track and cannot catch up, there's no person as a bridge to facilitate the communication among the school, the students, and parents in a timely manner. Because of this communication gap, the root of the students' issues were not dug out at the very beginning. So the problems were accumulated and not solved in time. Then the student continued falling behind until they gave up. The last challenge that teachers often mention about actually is that anxious parents are concerned about online learning, and they don't know how to educate kids at home. When the students stay all day alone at home to study remotely, parents are too busy with their own work to monitor students' study. Non-native English-speaking parents find it very difficult to navigate US school systems. Most of our international student parents even don't know there is a parents portal there. Even if they finally get to know, oh my goodness, there is a parent portal there, they don't know how to digest the information from school or from the portal. So that is why our program can really help our school and school teachers to remove and release both stress and workload.
I think that might have been the best answer ever given on this podcast to a question that was very good, Sarah. And it was very detailed. And I know, this is a medium where you can find this on YouTube and re-listen to that, and we can parse everything. But I heard a couple of things that I want to zero in on there. One, it sounds like we need to be proactive about this, especially when it comes to international students. If a student is learning online as an international student, they might not have the same skills that we would expect of a domestic student. So the sooner we can get them engaged with somebody that knows the pain points, that is able to help them, that might be good. So it can be a proactive option with getting them linked with a tutor. It does sound a lot like, teachers are teaching all day. They might not have the same level of energy for tracking each student. So giving them an outside tutor is very helpful, because then that person can work with them to make sure that they succeed. That's fantastic. And then the last thing is students that are struggling. it's really hard to catch up in this digital learning area. And so getting them outside help is going to be vital in ensuring their success. And I'm just glad that we can offer this as part of our network of services. So to end here, I think this is important, right? I could give you all the best teachers in the world, but if it costs $1 million, it's not gonna work. How much does it cost? How do schools refer a student to us?
Okay, so for one-on-one tutoring, the price ranges from $60 per hour to $100 per hour, depending on the student's course level, like CP level or AP level, and also how big the package hours is. The bigger the package is, the cheaper. And also program type. For example, if the student is enrolled in the conditional enrollment or conditional re-enrollment program, we will give the school and the students a huge discount for one-on-one tutoring. We can definitely customize the package hours and provide smaller group tutoring, like 2 to 4 students for the students of similar academic level, to make the program more affordable for our international students or for our domestic students and parents. So this program is highly customized, and we will, if you have any students who have the specific needs and requirement, we can definitely provide a custom program just for your student and for your situation. And probably you think the price is a little bit higher or a little bit pricing, especially for domestic students, because we also know that there are a lot of domestic students who are struggling in the remote learning. So I would like to highlight one of the highlights of our program, that is personalized one-on-one tutoring. According to study, one-on-one help and personalized support is the simple, most powerful strategy for responding to learning loss. Because in one-on-one setting, the teacher can better customize teaching to the specific content gaps that a student has missed, or prerequisite skills they need to practice. And also, it's easier for a student to develop a good relationship with a tutor. And also, third, it boosts the student's confidence as they begin to make progress, because lowest performing kids tend to sit quietly in the school and hope nobody will notice them. With tutoring, there is an adult who get to know them and really care about them, and give them a lot of opportunities to let them know that they can succeed. So in our program, before we matching the best fit tutor with the student, we will set up a free consultation with the student and parents to understand the student's needs and evaluate their strengths and opportunities. And after we match the student with the best fit tutor, we will email all the onboard information to the parents and student, and as well as the school teachers. And then the tutor will prepare a highly personalized learning plan for this specific student, and to meet the student's skill level, pace, and learning style. And
that all sounds good. Thank you, Sarah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I want to look in at that price because I think you said, $60 an hour seems expensive. I have no control over this price setting or anything. This is a totally different department at Cambridge Network. And I mean, just through my basic online searches, I'm seeing between, you can get a cheap tutor for $30 an hour. Maybe that's what you're paying, another high school student to tutor your son or daughter. And then it's going $75, $80, $100 online. And so we are definitely in the market for the correct price. So I think that is a decent price, and especially with discounts for expanded packages and everything, I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Yes, because our tutors are highly qualified professional tutors rather than college students or peer tutoring. That's number one. The reason why we set this price. And number two is that this is a one-on-one, highly customized tutoring program. And definitely, talking about price, we can definitely understand some parents may have concerns about price. We can provide a small group, like 1 or 2 or 3 students, so the parents can split the cost. to make this program more affordable. We still use a same tutor without sacrificing the quality, but still the students can enjoy the program and the quality.
Excellent. Excellent. Sarah, thank you so much. So much quality information that you've provided. What we're going to do is we're going to have executive producer Dean post all of the details of the academic services and the tutoring on our show notes. Dean will also have a some contact information there for parents, for students, for schools that are interested in signing up or hearing more about these services. So again, thank you so much. And I think an important thing as we close off this episode to remember for all schools is, this is for international students, but if you have domestic students, this is a great option for them as well. And also remember, when you have a strong academic services department like this one that Cambridge can provide, it will very likely increase your re-enrollment because students will be able to academically succeed and re-enroll for the next year. We also know from a marketing standpoint, when our agents abroad see that schools are associated with our Cambridge Network academic services, they're way more likely to refer a student to those programs. So just a few things on the marketing and admissions side to be aware of. Sarah, again, thank you so much. We cannot say thank you enough. I agree with Craig that I think you gave some of the best answers that we've ever had on the podcast. Any parting final thoughts from your side, Sarah?
So if you have any questions about our program, if you would like to know more about our price model or program customization, feel free to contact our Cambridge contact person. We definitely can create a program just for your school, for your student, and for your situation.
Customizable
and flexible. Mr. Batson, any final thoughts from your side?
No, that was great. Sarah, I've seen Sarah give 4-hour presentations to high school students. And so getting her on a 20-minute podcast was it was a little nerve-wracking, but she crushed it. So we got to have her back. Yeah, maybe get her opinions on other things.
Exactly. We'll definitely have Sarah back. This whole podcast reminds me, a mentor of mine once said that you've got to employ the right people and then get out of their way and let them do the job. I feel like that's what we've done with Sarah, and I feel like that's what Sarah's doing with some of the best tutors around as part of our academic services program. To all of our listeners, remember to like, subscribe, listen, share. We'll see you around the corner at the next episode. Bye-bye, everybody.